I got to run in here to town to get a few things. Gas is the main one. Not a lot of gas around where we live, and what gas there is hyper expensive. So I'll just run into Texas real quick and grab something. I just need to let y'all know I'm tired. When I say I'm tired, I don't mean physically. I mean, I'm brain tired. I'm emotionally tired. And what that means is, this channel used to be so easy for me. It used to be not an issue at all to film, to edit. I love doing it. I still love editing, and I still love filming. But just the day-to-day trying to come up with videos that are interesting that people would want to watch, it's exhausting mentally to me, if that makes sense. When we were in the van, content was easy, and it was free to come by, honestly. You know, you're living an alternative lifestyle that people are interested in, and it was, I mean, people cared what we were doing. People were interested in what we were doing. I've said before, you know, we live on the second floor of an apartment, and not a lot goes on. I can't even mow my own lawn. I don't want anybody to take this as a gripe session, because it's not. It's just an info session for those of you that care. Most of you won't watch this video, and I get that, and I understand. If it wasn't me, I probably wouldn't watch it either. Here's the fact of the matter. I'm just tired. And I know I said that, but I want to reiterate. Trying to come up with content that I'm not passionate about is tough. And I have racked my brain trying to come up with content. Do I like Bigfoot stuff? Yeah. Am I passionate about it? No. I'm not. I'm sure people have watched some of our videos before and think, how these people are obsessed with Bigfoot. I can promise you that's furthest from the truth you could get. But if that's all you see of us, I understand why people would think that. You know, I'm not going to be upset with anybody for thinking that about us. But I'm not obsessed with Bigfoot. Rachel's not obsessed with Bigfoot. It's something we think about every now and then. And it did our channel well for a while, but that was more when we were in the van, because then we could go places, still do van life stuff, and then have some Bigfoot content in there with it, some cryptid paranormal content in. It was a really cool niche we had. You know, when we started having issues with the van, and we kind of talked about not doing van life anymore, I knew this was going to come up. I knew this issue was going to happen. And it's come up. It's been that way for a while. You know, it was like this whenever we were staying at my son's house, even when we still had the van. If all you're doing is just sitting around, sitting in the house, watching YouTube and chilling, there's not a lot you can do. And there's definitely nothing to film. There's definitely nothing to put on video. I'll tell you that. And I'm just being as real as I can be right now. And if you watch this channel at all, or you know me, or you know Rachel, or you know anything about us, we're going to be real. So I don't know what to do. Do I like Bigfoot stuff? Yeah, I do. Did I like van life content better? You don't even know. It was just easy. What I'm saying is now I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go with this. You know, again, I love filming. I love editing. I love being creative. I love all those things. But when you have nothing to work with, if I was a carpenter and had all the tools to do it with and had all the ability to do it, but I lived in a desert where there was no wood around, there was no lumber, there was nothing to work with, and that was my passion, what would I do? I don't know. What do I do with this passion and information that I have about editing, and the zeal that I have for editing, and the love that I have for editing, when you have nothing to edit? Nothing, especially nothing people want to watch, because let's be real, I've put out a lot of content that nobody's watched. And maybe it's the content. Very well could be. I don't know whether to stick with the Bigfoot stuff or just do videos like this that nobody watches. I think what I'm going to do is just make videos that I want to make. If it's about Bigfoot, fantastic. If it's about us sitting around the house doing nothing, fantastic. what I'm saying is I'm tired of putting out content for the sake of content. If I want to do something that has nothing to do with any other topic that I've ever made a video about, but I want to do it, I'm going to do it from now on. The attitude that I'm having right now is attitude with myself. It's not with anybody else. This is with Tommy trying to give people what they want instead of Tommy making the content that he wants to. I'm tired of trying to feel like I owe it to people to give them the content they want when I don't. Rachel's asleep at the house. I didn't want to bother her to get out and make this video. And I know y'all miss seeing her on videos. I get it. You never know when I'm going to film, and I don't want to bother her when and if I decide to film. Point blank. I'm not going to do it. Even though she wouldn't get mad, that's not how I live my life. So I'm going to run in here to Murphy and grab some gas and something to drink, and we'll get back with y'all in just a second. Maybe, if I can get gas. Can we do gas today? Do they sell it? Oh, hello, Sally. Wow, chilly. Oh, that was fun. Seems like this Murphy in Gainesville, Texas always has some of the weirdest people ever working there. Well, it's Gainesville, so let's be real. Getting back to my other point, I really miss making content like this, the vlog style. But again, it comes back to, is anybody going to care what we're doing when we're sitting at home most of the time? Let's be as real as we can. The car doesn't have AC. And two, we just can't afford, with our rent like it is, we can't afford to just go do stuff. There are plenty of things to do in this area. There are plenty of historical things we can go do, just fun things we can do. Also, our Bigfoot area is just right out there. However, I know it doesn't show on video, but it's freaking hot, and that's not fun to film in. Cameras don't like that kind of heat. You know, so I guess my question to y'all is, what do I do? And I'm not asking for answers. That's a rhetorical question. What do I do? This is the question more aimed at me than it is anybody. I don't know what to do now. Because obviously I'm not just going to quit this channel, especially since it's monetized. Monetized is a very loose term there. Well, I get paid this month on the 21st. And it's not very much, it's over 100. But you have to make over 100 to get paid for the prior month. Does that make sense? If you don't make 100, then you don't get paid. Last month was the first month ever that we didn't make enough to get paid. You know, like actually the first 4 or 5 paychecks we got from YouTube were the only really good ones until we got hacked. I don't know what to do. And that's just being as real as I can be. You know, I watch other channels and I watch the editing they've done and the way they've gone about stuff. Okay. There was a channel, I just finished watching a little series they had, and there was a younger Asian looking guy and a guy probably about mid-40s or whatever, and they drove Route 66, rated the restaurants on Route 66. If that makes sense, if I said that properly. I'm sure I didn't, but it is what it is. Something like that would be amazing. That'd be great. That's easy content, you know. So not only was this kid, and I say kid, he was, I mean, early mid-20s, that's a kid to me. Not only was he making content that people would want to watch, and you're literally just driving and eating, that's all it is, but his editing was top notch. Editing was better than mine. But I can get to that. The editing is not really an issue for me. It's the content. Filming something people want to watch. I don't know. This video doesn't mean anything, but it's the kind of stuff I'm going to do. If I never get paid from YouTube again, I'm still going to make videos. And that may suck, but I'm going to make videos.